Hello, welcome to the Learning Tree Book Club's regular monthly meeting, and we read together for 1 hour and a half, first Saturdays. And I'm Meredith McGee, a member of Learning Tree Book Club, and I'm in Jackson, Mississippi.
My name is Mariam Yusuf. I am 10 years old and I am in fifth grade.
My name is Sama Yusuf. I'm 7 years old and I am in second grade.
Hi, my name is Ruth Sanders, and I won't give my age, but I'm in Reading, Mississippi.
Thank you. So, Miriam and Solomon, you all are going to read first. Then, Miss Sanders, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go after them?
You can go after them.
Okay.
Today I'm going to be reading Peace is an Offering.
Peace is an offering. Oh, okay.
Peace is an offering, a muffin or peach. A birthday invitation, a trip to the beach. Peace is gratitude for simple things, like the relief a dragonfly's wing. A kiss on the head, raindrops and dew, a walk in the park, a bowl of hot stew. Peace is holding on to another. Peace is the words you say to a brother. Will you stay with me? Will you be my friend? Will you listen to my story till the very end? Will you wait when I'm slow? Will you calm my fears? Will you speak to the sun to dry my tears? Will you keep me company when I'm alone? Will you give me shelter when I've lost my home? You might find peace in a photograph. And even in the wake of tragedy, even then you might find her in the rubble of a fallen tower, in the sorrow of your darkest hour, in the hat of a hero, in the loss of a friend. Peace is a joining, not a pulling apart. It's the courage to bear a wounded heart. It's a safe place to live. It's the freedom from fear. It's a kiss or a hug when you've lost someone dear. So offer a cookie, walk away from a fight. Comfort a friend through the long dark night. Sing a quiet song. Catch a falling star. May peace walk beside you wherever you are. That's it.
Okay, thank you. When you was reading, I was wondering who is the voice talking and who is the voice talking to? In the story.
The voice was, well, there wasn't a specific person that was talking in the story. I think it was just the author talking to us about peace that's offered around.
Okay, okay. I get you. Okay, well, thank you. I really enjoyed that story.
Thank you.
Okay, what you got, Solomon?
Wallace and Grace take the cake. Chapter 2.
Wallace and Grace.
Chapter 2. Do they take the case? Girls in the garden, cried Grace. Her big eyes opened wide. Will you help me? Asked Edgar. His whiskers twitched. He looked scared. Do you want us to find the ghost? Asked Grace. The night owl detective agent is good at hiding things, said Wallace, but we never found a ghost. I don't know. I don't want you to find the ghost, said Edgar. What do you want us to? Asked Grace. I want you to make the ghost go away, said Edgar. Do that? Said Wallace. Wallace always said when he was thinking. Wallace did a lot of thinking. He pulled out his detective notebook and his pencil. He had found a little pencil at a lake. Place. He had also found a yellow golf ball. He was good at spotting things from high in the sky. Now he wrote in his book, Ghost in Garden. When did you see the ghost? Grace asked. Grace always asks the question. Wallace wrote all the answers. That's just how they work. Just now, said Edgar, I was munching leafy green in the garden. Then I saw white, wrote Wallace. Ghosts are white, said Grace. But so are baseballs and marshmallows, said Wallace. It wasn't a marshmallow, said Edgar. Do you know that?
Solomon, can you point out Wallace and Grace? in the book.
So this is wrong.
Okay.
Is grace.
Tell us the difference between each character.
One is a girl, one is a boy.
Okay. Thank you.
Biggest marshmallow. Biggest marshmallow was taller than a house. Asked Grace. It is fact. Grace is full of facts. Said one. It was not a marshmallow. Said Edgar. Anyways, I'm scared of marshmallows. A big marshmallow would be scary. Just saying, said Wallace. He liked to play outdoor things. Okay, fine. No marshmallows in. The garden said, Grace, what did the white thing look like? The white thing was floating, said eager, floating round Wallace. Those float, said Grace. It was white and it was floating. It is a ghost. Hold up, said Wallace. We need more facts. The white floating thing made a noise, said Edgar. A spooky noise. Ghosts make spooky noise. Grace and Mom. Ghosts make spooky noise. Grace said to Wallace. Said Wallace. Then he wrote spooky noise. You need to stay away from that garden, Grace warned Edgar. I can't stay away. The pile in the garden is the bed. Edgar licked his lips. But I don't know to but I don't want to share with a ghost. Take will you take my case? Wallace and Grace looked at each other. The night owl detective agent has rules. Rule one was both partners had to say yes. They need a partner talk. We need to be back. Wallace told Edgar that he Grace flew to a tree stump nearby. Wallace quickly spots a big beetle with a hard shell. He ate it with a big crunch. Grace sighed. She wished she had seen that beetle first. Wallace was so good at finding things. Do you want to find a ghost? Grace asked Wallace. We don't know that. It is a ghost, said Wallace. It sounds like a ghost, said Grace. She pointed to his nose. Are you scared of a ghost? Asked Wallace. A little, said Grace. But Grace was more than a little scared. She was a lot scared. Me too, said Wallace. This is quite the Humanity, said Grace. What does that mean? Asked Wallace. Grace liked to use big words, and it means tricky choice, said Grace. You could have just said that, said Wallace. I did, Grace told him. What should we do? Eager, put our Edgar needs help, said Wallace, and detectives always help when they are needed. That's true, said Grace. Detectives are brave. We aren't detectives. I think we should be brave, said Wallace. Grace looked. Grace looked. This case was getting trickier and trickier. Okay, we need to be brave. She said. They flew back to Eager. Wallace and Grace will take the case, said Grace. Woo-hoo! Eager hopped up and down. Let's go find the ghost, said Wallace. Chapter 3. Who? I will stop to finish it in the next.
Okay, so you're gonna do it on your second time. So can you tell us some of the things that Wallace and Grace did so far in your book? I think she froze up. Okay. Hey Mary, Hardy, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, wonderful. I see a new background. Look, I'm noticing.
Oh, I'm just in a different place.
I mean,
okay. I'm at the store, but probably sitting in a different area.
Oh, I got you. Oh, you at the book gallery?
I am.
I got my books yesterday.
Well, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I was doing LeBron James, I Promise. And it says it was illustrated by Nina Mata. And this is something new. I've never heard of this. A New York Times best-selling illustrator. That's the first time I ever heard that phrase. Have you all ever heard that? I mean, I can imagine that there's probably a lot of best-selling illustrators because they're probably illustrators of best-selling books. And I definitely can imagine that anything that LeBron James wrote will be a bestseller. I promise. This is nice. I promise to be the best version of me. And she's standing there with a lot of confidence with a big old afro puff. Okay, it says, in this book, you'll find encouraging and boasting reminders that success starts with you. Inspired by the creation of his I Promise School in Akron, Ohio, NBA champion and cultural icon, LeBron James motivates us to strive for greatness in everything we do. And he says this is for children ages 4 to 8. And I'm already happy. I promise. LeBron James Nayamata, written in 2020. And he says, to the kids that started it all, I promise families in Akron, these promises are for you, and I hope they may be helpful to every student, classroom, and family across the country. You all inspire me each and every day, LeBron. And then Nina says, to Area and the kids who dare to dream bigger, it all starts with the promises you make to yourself. I love it. Starts with you. It's a nice illustration in it.
Mm-hmm.
I promise to work hard and do what's right, to be a leader in the game of life. It's interesting. I promise to go to school and read as much as I can. I love that statement even more. We're going to be at the bookstore buying books there. I promise to go to school and read as much as I can, to follow the rules and respect the game plan. I promise to run full court and show up each time. Okay. To get back up and let my magic shine. In other words, when you fall, get back up. Keep going. Just gonna have to call you right back. Okay. Oh. I promise to be open and try new things. And enjoy the happy that change can bring. Oh my goodness, they really enjoying that water. I'm ready to go get in the water myself. I promise to wear a big smile and use kindness when I speak. Well, that's a good thing to promise. To remain strong, yet humble with every win and defeat. Okay. That's the winners and the losers high-fiving each other. I promise to ask for help whenever I need it. Oh, that's so sweet. Like a brother and sister. To reach for my star, even when I can't see it. I guess LeBron James, his star was basketball. Everybody's got a different star they're reaching for. Because I know Miriam is already writing. She's going to be published one day. I promise to ask questions and find answers. All right. How about this, Solomon? To believe in next time and second chances. Okay. Somebody got an A. I don't know what, I guess that was the next time and the second chance. I promise to use my voice and stand up for what's right. And when things get tough, to keep up the fight. All right. And would LeBron James say this game of life be a leader in this game of life. Okay. I promise to stand tall, rise up, and give all that I've got. Okay. The hustling on the court. To throw the alley oop and uplift others on the spot. It look like a dunk to me. Basketball dunk. Okay. I promise to respect my elders and peers the same. To leave new places better than I came. Oh my goodness. That's very important. Because I'm now an elder. I want to be respected. Yeah, and so Miss Sanders and Miss Mary. I promise to stay true, keep my head up, and never give up no matter what. I promise to dream big and love bigger, to be a team player and a winner. Win, 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 no matter what. I promise to cross bridges and break down walls, to rise with the sun and learn from the falls. I promise to be courageous, to be free, to strive for greatness. I promise to be me. And we're all different. Okay. I'm gonna save my last 2 pages for my second read. But I like this I promise book. LeBron James and Miss Nina Mata, they've done a very good book. I really like this book. Okay, are you ready to read, Miss Lou?
Yes, I'm ready to read. And the book that I'm reading, it's going to take me months before I can finish it. It's over 300 pages.
Oh, I'm not sure what your volume is. We can't hear you now.
By Michael Rydelnik.
Oh, tell me the name again.
It's 50 Most Important Bible Questions by Michael Rydelnik. That's Rydelnik.
50 most important Bible what?
Questions.
Oh, I got your question.
Yeah, 50 most important Bible questions.
Okay.
By Michael Rydelnik.
Okay, thank you.
It was released within the last several months, and it's the Moody Publisher Company in Chicago. I'll just read a couple of pages from it because, like I said, it's a very intense book. The introduction is everyone has questions about the Bible. Age doesn't matter, nor does gender, nor does the state of your spiritual condition. Regardless of where we might be on our spiritual journey, when we encounter the scriptures, we all have questions. Once, my neighbor who had decided to read the New Testament for the very first time read the first verse. The record of the genealogy of Jesus the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham, Matthew 1:1, and burst out with questions. Wait a minute, what is this David and who's this Abraham? Another friend, a woman from our congregation, became a follower of Jesus some 75 years ago, and had written numerous Bible study guides. Still, she called me from time to time with some technical questions about the laws of the Levites and priests, of the meaning of an obscure prophetic text. From seekers to new followers of Jesus, from growing believers to mature teachers of the word, we all have questions about the Bible. Becoming the Bible answer guy. I was leading a congregation when I first realized that many people had many questions about the Bible. As a result, for the next 10 to 12 years during worship service, I would periodically take time not to give a sermon, but to answer questions. During that service, people could ask me any Bible questions they had, and I'll do my best to answer. Now, I didn't always know the answer, but I did know how to do biblical research. And if I could answer immediately, I would give an answer the next time we gathered together. When I from Open Line, the program in which he answered questions as radio pastor, people were still calling in with Bible questions. So I had the privilege of stepping in to answer Bible questions once a week for several years on the Moody Radio Chicago morning program. When Moody Radio realized that listeners still needed their Bible questions answered on a regular basis, they decided to revive Open Line as a Saturday morning program. Since 2012, I have spent 2 hours every Saturday morning answering listeners' questions about the Bible, God, and the spiritual life. There are some questions that people ask over and over again, but many of the questions are new to me. I am amazed at the depth of the questions our listeners ask. These are the times when I not only do not know the answer, but I would never have thought of the questions. Those are some of my favorite questions because they drive me back to do further biblical research. These difficult questions keep me learning more and more. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that while most questions can be answered now, there are some things we don't know until the Lord tells us in glory. It is this background as a radio Bible answer guide that forced this book about the 50 most important questions people have about the Bible. And that's his introduction as to why he wrote this book. And then in the second read, if I'm still on, I will start with the number one questions that most people ask.
Okay, thank you. Any question? Okay. Marianne, you have a second read? You have something to read?
Yes.
Okay.
It is called Ramona Quimby.
Ramona Quimby, age 8. That's very specific. Okay, I get it.
The first day of school. Ramona Quimby hoped her parents would forget to give her a little talking to. She did not want anything to spoil this exciting day. Haha, I get to ride the school bus all day myself. Ramona barged into her big sister Beatrice at breakfast. Her stomach felt quivery with excitement at day that would begin with a bus ride just the right to make her feel a long way from home, but did not long enough. She hoped to make her feel carsick. Ramona was going to ride the bus because changes have been made in schools in the Queen-based part of the city during the summer. Glenwood, the girls' old school had become an intermediate school, which meant Ramona had to go to Cedric's primary school. Haha, Recess was excited to be annoyed with her little sister today. I start myself. Junior high school connected Ramona, who was not going to let her sister get away with acting older than she really was. Rosemont Junior High was not the same as high school, and besides, you have to walk. Ramona had reached the age of dem- and gain a currency from everyone, even herself. All summer, whenever a grown-up asked what grade she was in, she felt as if she were fibbing when she answered. The third, because she had not actually started the third grade. She still did not say she was in second since she had finished that grade last June. Grown-ups did not understand that summers were free from grades. Ha ha to both of you, said Mr. Quimby as he carried his breakfast dishes to the kitchen. You're not the only one going to school today. Yesterday had been his last day working at the checkout counter of the ShopRite market. Today he was returning to college to become what he called a real live school teacher. He was also to work one day a week in the frozen food warehouse of the chain of ShopRite markets to help the buffet. As the grown-ups put it until he finished his school. If you don't, I'll have to all of you if you don't hurry up, says Miss Quinby as she swished suds in the dishpan. She stood back from the sink so she would not splatter the white uniform she wore in the doctor's office where she worked as a receptionist. That will you have to do homework? Ramona whipped off her milk mustache and gathered up her dishes. That's right, Mr. Quimby flicked a dish towel at Ramona as she passed him. She giggled and dodged, happy because she was happy. Never again would he stand all day at a cash register ringing up groceries for a long line of people who were always in a hurry. Ramona slid her plate into the dishwasher and will Mother have to sign your progress reports? Miss Quimby laughed. I hope so. Princess was last to bring her dishes into the kitchen. Dad, what do you have to study to learn to be a teacher? She asked. Ramona had been wondering the same thing. Her father knew how to read and do arithmetic. He also knew about origin pointing years and about two pins making one foot. I'm going to stop there for now. It's a long book.
Okay, very good. So, tell us some of the things that happened on her first day of school?
Well,
She is thinking about what's going to happen when she reaches school for her first day of third grade. She's really nervous and asking her parents about what's going to happen and what their new jobs will be like.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for that. And Solomon, did you want to read some more of your book?
yes, I'm coming. Um, I just wanted to be reading more of Wally and Grace.
Okay.
3. Who is in the garden? Wings in the air, eyes
I think she's frozen again. Okay, turn your volume. Okay.
and kiss over. Everyone said she had super good eyesight.
So they're in the mountains?
Now they're over a fence. You see the ghost? Asked Eager. His rabbit eyes were so good. Prince a clue. Paul Prince wrote once in his notebook. Show us your foot. Edgar. Eager, said Grace. Eager left one foot. He wobbled to the left, he wobbled to the right. Standing on one foot was tricky. Wallace and Grace looked at his paw. Not the same as paw prints in the dirt, said Grace. Eager paw or bigger.
You said somebody was standing on one foot?
Yeah, the bunny was standing on one foot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That means that Eager did not make these paw prints, said Wallace. Someone with small feet was in the garden too. It was the ghost, cried Eager. Hold on, said Wallace. You saw a floating ghost, right? Yes, said Eager. A floating ghost will not leave footprints.
Okay. So great, Wallace and Grace now have a new friend, which is a rabbit, and they're calling him Bunny?
No, he's called Eager. Edgar.
Edgar, okay.
Said Wallace. Floating means flying, not walking. Ha! Cried Grace. She felt less scared now. Now these friends look like animal paw prints. But what about the white floating thing? Asked Eager. Said Wallace. We need to investigate. Grace told Edgar that a big one for a look around for told that that's a big one for a look around. Wallace stepped closer to the bush. Leo, he cried. Look, White Feather poked out from under the bush. Then Wallace twisted his head almost all the way around. Owls can do that. Do you know what I see? Wallace pointed at the yard. Grace twisted her head around too. I do, Grace. Ring. Edgar tried to help twist his head around. Ow! Rabbit heads don't do that. Not no fair, cried Edgar. He stamped his foot. I do not see what you see. Look at the bedsheet on the line, said Wallace. Do you see the empty clothes bin? Asked Grace. Yes, said Eager. He scratched his ear. What does that mean? The empty clothes bin means that one sheet is missing, said Grace. There were 3 sheets while we were playing hide and seek. Now there are 2 sheets. The missing sheet floated under this bush, said Wallace. Edgar, you saw a white bed sheet floating, not a ghost, cried Grace. Case closed. Shake, shake. Flap, flap, Grace did a celebration dance. They had solved the case. Excuse me. Eager held up his paw to stop the celebration. Betches do not make spooky noise, said, and I hear spooky noise. The rabbit is right, said Wallace.
Okay.
Grace stopped dancing. They forgot about the night owl. We forgot about the night owl detective. Agent Room 2, said one. What's that? Asked Edgar. 2 is the case is not over until everything makes sense. Makes spooky noise. Does not make sense, said one. Case not closed, said Grace. We need to investigate more. Wallace followed the pawpaw around the bush to find the fence. Look at this, he said. The dirt by the fence was all dug up, and she would be floating over the fence, said Grace.
Okay.
Something crawled under the fence, right by this bush, said I came there. Eager points to the other side of the garden. We need to see what's under the bush, said Wallace. They stared at the bush for a long time. They stared at the bush for a long time. Was the ghost hiding under there? You first, said Grace. No, you first, said Wallace. Someone do something. I am hungry, said Edgar. Fine, I'll be here. Here. I'll I'll be courageous, said Grace. Courageous was a big word for brave.
Can you tell us something fun that
Are you sure?
Wallace, Grace, and Edgar did together?
What did you say?
Can you tell us something fun that Wallace, Grace, and Edgar did together?
Solving a case together.
What did they do?
They are solving a case together.
Okay.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Asked Wallace. Grace was not sure, but she stepped towards the bush anyway. Grace's heart beating loudly near the leaves. What should she find? Then they heard it. The spooky noise. Meow, meow, meow. Grace jumped back in fear. Oh no, the ghost cried Eager. He began to hop away. Hold on, said Wallace. That doesn't sound like a spooky ghost. Grace listened again. Meow, meow, meow. Then she looked down at the tiny paw prints. The prints matched the noise. I know who is in the garden, said Grace. Do you? Chapter 4. I'll stop at chapter 4.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that. You want to give us a summary of what happened so far?
So, what happened so far is that they found out that they tried to find out the ghost wasn't actually a ghost. It's just another creature. That's a cat. And got tangled in the in the bush.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. Um, I have just 2 pages, and then Miss Ruth, you can read. Uh, um, you was gonna tell us one of the most asked questions in the book you're reading about the Bible. Okay, so LeBron James, the LeBron James Family Foundation. This is a note from LeBron James, and these are the things that the students promised to do. Okay, so he says, your promise. The I Promise School was inspired by the big dreams of kids in my hometown and around the world. It is a place committed to helping them and their families reach their full potential. At the start of every school year and repeated each morning, all students make a set of promises to themselves, just like those in this book. Setting goals, working hard, and holding yourself accountable are the first steps to success. We're excited to have you join in this journey to achieve your goals. Here is our daily promise to get you started. Remember, nothing is given, everything is earned. LeBron James. And this is the promise. I promise to go to school. I promise to do all my homework. I promise to listen to my teachers because they will help me learn. I promise to ask questions and find answers, to never give up no matter what, to always try my best, to be helpful and respectful to others, to live a healthy life by eating right and being active, to make good choices for myself, to have fun, and above all else, to finish school. And this is it says LeBron James is a 3-time NBA champion and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Was crowned league MVP 4 times. In addition to his remarkable basketball career, James is a father, husband, philanthropist, and producer. Today, one of James' greatest accomplishments is the opening of the LeBron James Family Foundation's I Promise School, which serves children in his hometown of Akron, Ohio. You can visit him at www.lebronjames.com and learn more about I Promise. Nia Mata is a New York Times best-selling illustrator and received her degree from the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. She has illustrated many books, including American gymnast Laurie Hernandez, She's Got This, and even worked for Sesame Street. She currently lives in New Jersey with her husband, their daughter, Tabitha, and their daughter and Tabitha, their cat. The cat is named Tabitha. And you can visit her at www.beautifique.org. Okay, well, I really liked it. It's our promise book. So that's all I have right now. And it's goofy. I guess could be the last reader unless Mary comes back. I think she's in the bookstore. She has some customers.
Okay, the number one question that is usually asked is, what is the gospel? Imagine you see a terrible car accident. You're the first to reach the driver who is clearly in bad shape, seemingly on the point of death. At the last moment, he turns to you and say, I'm afraid to face God. How can I know that my sins are forgiven? Would you be able to explain the good news of Jesus to this desperate person in 25 words or less? Why start this book with the question in this scenario? It's because this situation demonstrates that the good news of the gospel found in Jesus the Messiah is our most important message in 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 8. Paul explains the meaning of the gospel and declared that this message is of the first importance. Since the gospel is our most essential message, it is crucial that we understand what it is and be able to explain it. But unfortunately, while the message of the gospel is clearly a priority for the follower of Jesus, I found that many committed, educated, biblically astute, mature Jesus followers are unable to present this most basic issue. So at the very outset of this book, I want to ask and answer this most important question. What is the gospel? What is the good news that we proclaim? What must a person believe in order to experience God's forgiveness and new life in Jesus? The meaning of gospel. In 1 Corinthians 15:1, Paul used stand in it, and most vitally, they were saved. To experience God redemption and forgiveness in Jesus. So what exactly is the gospel? The substitutionary death of Jesus. The first part of this good news is found in 1 Corinthians 15, 3-4. The Messiah Jesus died. Paul gave the reason for the death of God's Son, Jesus Christ. It was for our sin. Jesus died as a sin substitute, taking the punishment we deserve. Paul then gives evidence that Jesus really died as our sin substitute. The first part of this evidence is biblical. It was according to the scriptures, meaning Old Testament passage like Isaiah 53, which foretold Messiah's substitutionary death on our behalf. In his death, Jesus received the punishment we deserve. The second part of Paul's gospel proving evidence is historical. He was buried. Paul is asserting that Jesus really died. It wasn't a sham. Our Savior didn't merely swoon or appear to be dead. He really, truly, honestly died. If he had not died, he would not have been buried. So the first part of the good news is that the Messiah Jesus died for us. What's the second part? The resurrection of Jesus. The second aspect of the good news found in 1 Corinthians 15:4-8 is that the Messiah Jesus was raised from the dead. He was raised on the third day, 1 Corinthians 15:4. This crucial element is frequently overlooked when explaining the good news by preachers, theologians, even evangelists. Too often they mistakenly assume that everyone knows that Jesus not only died, but he was raised from the dead as well. I would remind us that in our current culture, we can't assume that all listeners know or agree that Jesus was resurrected from the dead. that Jesus, who claimed to be God in the flesh, really was God. The proof is found in the resurrection. God the Father validated Jesus' claim by raising him from the dead. That's why Romans 10:9 says, if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. The word Lord here is a reference to Jesus being Lord God, not the master of our lives. Additionally, this verse linked his deity to his resurrection from the dead. The Lord Jesus claimed to be deity, and the Father confirmed that he is by raising him from the dead. Final thoughts on question 1. So here's the good news in a nutshell. Messiah Jesus died for our sin, rose again, proving he is God. That's it. The gospel is not about going forward at an altar call, raising our hands, getting baptized, joining a church, or even feeling really, really bad for all the wrongs we've done. The gospel doesn't require that we know everything in the Bible. Repent, the Westminster Catechism, or anything else people have proposed. It's a simple, essential truth. Messiah Jesus died for our sin and rose again, proving he is God. Now, what would I say to the guy in the car accident in 25 words or less? Here it is. The wrong things we do separate us from God. Messiah Jesus died, taking our punishment, and rose again, proving he is God. Trust in him. That's exactly 25 words. That's the answer to question 1 that most people ask. What is the gospel?
That's interesting.
It is a very interesting book, but it's a slow read.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for that. Any questions? Okay, well, Mary, you gonna take us out?
I have a poem. I will.
Okay.
I have a poem.
Okay.
Growing up, we had a front porch that we would sit, and I guess we did everything on that front porch. So it was a porch for many events. So I've written a poem entitled "The Front Porch Is." So the front porch is a place to chat or settle a spat, a place to relax and offer congrats, or a place to play jacks. The front porch is a place to be nosy because it is cozy, a place to sit and watch cars go by, a place to close one eye and pretend to be shy. The front porch is a place to entertain company, whether they are smooth or jumpy, a place to sweep the debris and not think about scenery. Only remnants are plenary, now so much a memory. The front porch is.
Oh, that was a fun poem.
Well, thank you.
Okay, can anybody tell us what they're going to be reading this month? You got any special books you're going to be reading?
I'll still be reading the same book.
I know, because it's 300 and some pages. Yeah. Well, we're doing the Learning Tree Reading Fair starts July the 5th. If you can read with us, we're going to be reading 2 hours a day through the week, starting July the 5th until July the 19th, but not on the weekend. We start on a Tuesday and we ending on a Tuesday. So any of the days that you can jump on is 2 to 4 Central Time and 3 to 5 Eastern. And we'll be sending out the link, and if you want to tell anybody about it, they can get the ticket on eventbrite.com, or they could just email us their email so we can send them the link. And I'm reading a book by an author that was at May Book Fest. Can't think of the name of it. But anyway, I have a couple of books that I want to read this month, but I don't know if I'm reading because I guess too many books that I that I want to read. But anyway, I thank everyone for reading with us. If you can read with us on the for the reading fair, I'll see you between July the 5th and July the 19th. And other than that, I'll see you the first Saturday in August, which is our regular monthly book club meeting where we read first Saturdays for 1 hour and a half. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you guys next time, and have a wonderful 4th of July weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.